right, our next reader this evening will be Mike Allen, who began gill netting in the early 60s and ended it later in the late 60s in Astoria. And he lives in Hood River now, stays close to the river still, and his daughter, Amanda Jesse, is helping with poetry and song this evening. So as we get them set up, please give them a warm welcome to the father-daughter duo, Mike and Amanda.
Good evening, everybody.
Yeah, hi. Thank you.
We're so excited we could hardly spit. My name is Mike Allen. My daughter Amanda Jesse, and I gill netted from 1962 to 1967 right out here on the Columbia River. I sold my salmon to the cannery, Union Fishermen's Cooperative Cannery, for 26 cents a pound, and they stored my boat all year long for nothing, so that was a good deal. And today the boat that my brother Bill and I fished is stored safely across from the Maritime Museum in the old Builder's Supply warehouse. So this first poem is about one evening when I was a very young kid, and I was with my dad on his trolling boat, and he had a friend visiting him, and they were just sitting there drinking coffee in the evening, and steam was rising from the cups, and the fog was on the river. And I don't know why I remembered it, but I did, so I wrote this poem. It's about that. The title is The Old John Day. Trees throw dark shadows on the banks of the old John Day, while fog on the river hides an old trolling boat, and steam rises from friends' coffee cups as they talk about things of long ago. Crawdad traps crawl with life when lifted from the depths, and soon to be boiling and then still and red. Edible steaming gems to satisfy our hunger or simpler ways and times. So this next, thank you. I never know quite how to end a poem. So this next poem is about the Upper Town station I fished out of, and often had a late night game of cribbage going in the back room. The fishermen were playing cards and playing cribbage, and they always had a pot of fish head stew, simmering away, and it was a very strong smelling fish head stew. But anyway, this poem is about that.
This is called The Cannery. The old cannery on the river by a hill, with red board siding, bleached and worn, waits patiently for fishermen still, its windows broken and roofing torn. Inside, when the day is through, is the memory of cribbage late into the night, and finished talk and fish head stew, and returning boats at dawn's first light. Now the mooring pulleys no longer squeal, and the fisherman's chatter is gone. The white caps on the river, I feel, all to remind us of caps they once had on. The town on a hill is there still. Its church spires point to the sky, to remind us that if we will, we can save the fishing by and by. Thank you.
This next, this next poem is about something I've always pondered about, and that is why are all boats and ships referred to in the feminine vernacular? I've never heard a good answer. So this next poem continues the myth that by not referring to my boat as an it. And the name of it, title of the poem is Jealousy. Today, she leads me to believe she loves only me because she knows that's important to me. Today, she will carry me to heights. We will sail. But tomorrow, when I am gone, I know that she will find another sailor to steer her and sail her. But for today, it is enough to know this old fish boat is mine. In the early 60s, the gillnet boat that my brother and I fished was at least 30 years old. And an older fisherman that was moored next to me, he told me that I should not go out in it until I signed my last will and testament.
A fisherman's prayer. Head my boat into the waves, Lord. Let me fill the spray. Hold my boat together for another day. If the catch be big or small, makes no difference to me, for in the end we lose it all. I just want to be with thee. Thank you.
This next poem is about one night I made the mistake of letting an older man talk me into going fishing with him because he needed a few bucks and he was down on his luck. But I knew I was in trouble when he showed up on the boat with a gallon of wine. The title is Gillnet or Lost. Only fish docks are left where fishermen moored their boats and where they stretched their nets to dry, and salmon are disappearing. Their return is remote. But you can still hear the northwest wind sigh. I can remember before the fish were gone, they sailed the mighty tide and fished their nets the whole night long on this Columbia, miles wide. 'Tis God's country, an old fisherman once told me. In the moonlight, his net swept the sand. A full gallon of wine by dawn he made empty with a swig for every fish that he'd land. Now winos are left and the sands ever shifting, but at night you can still hear the sound of a cork line knocking and a gillnet boat drifting on some favorite old fishing ground.
Sometimes the sea is hard and unforgiving, but sometimes it is soft. This poem is about those times. The old soft sea. Come back to me, said the old soft sea, where winter seems to lie, and sail with me on wind that's free, over tides that are full and spry. Remember me, said the old soft sea, when your days are hot and dry, and the field dust makes you thirst for the sound of a sea breeze sigh. Turn back to me, said the old soft sea, when your troubled soul needs rest, and ride with me under shining star as you dance from crest to crest. Sleep with me, said the old soft sea, while I quiet my waves and foam, and tomorrow I'll hail a wind at your tail to help to sail you home. Thank you. Thank you.
So next up is a song.
This is a sing-along.
sing-along song.
So glad you're all still here.
Yeah. So it's a true song I wrote about the unpredictability of gill netting. And between each verse is a chorus that goes, "We hardly made a dime, but we had a good time." Now, when you hear the word dime, that's your cue that you can, if you want to, sing along and join in and say, "But we had a good time."
Okay, everybody got it?
Okay, let's go.
Okay. Well, you're too young to remember Minnie Pearl, but she had a profound saying before she would start. "We're all gonna sing now." Went like that.
We rode a ways together on the old fish boat at night, and fished on the water till the dawn's early light. I don't know why we go out time after time. One night all we caught was jellyfish, and it was mostly slime. We hardly made a dime, but we had a good time.
Good job. We'll get more practice.
We sat there in the moonlight after laying out our net. The water was so peaceful, but you can bet. We mended our net all day long and got no time to sleep, and headed right back out that night to catch some fish to keep. We hardly made a dime, but we had a good time. You guys are doing good.
You're all hired.
One night a boat hit a sandbar, and we were stuck
Till high tide.
We
Couldn't admit that we did it.
Oh, and
We
we
got
got
hooked, we lied.
One night we wrapped around a buoy and cut our net clean in half. Next time we tried it back together and had ourselves a laugh. We hardly made a dime, but we had a good time. You guys are doing good. One night a seal came swimming by and dove down with a flip. He took a bite out of the fish in our net and didn't leave a tip. One night our engine quit running, so we had to look out to see if some kind-hearted soul would tow us back to town. We hardly made a dime, but we had a good time. We hardly made a dime, but we had a good time.
Give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you.
My name is John Palms, like palm trees.
Were you a performer last night?
Yeah, I was. at the Voodoo Room.
Oh, I think that's where I saw you. Weren't you the
Didn't you have to
guitarist?
ask me about-
Well, we could.
Okay, so what kind of pithy comment would you like me to make for your? So like I said, I did 10 years of TV news, so I'd be looking for the soundbite about this point.
Well, what's the how long have you been coming here and performing?
I don't know. I think it might be, it's probably going on 9 years. And it's really incredible here because, see, I'm from Juneau, Alaska, and I'm a long way from home, but 2 nights ago I met a guy who I took a tugboat ride from Ketchikan to Seattle in the middle of the winter with. I haven't seen him for 30 years or something, and I never expected that I'd see him here, but it was an incredible adventure. It was a big adventure, and I won't go into it, don't have the time for it all here, but just the fact that he was here, and there are so many other people here that not only understand fishing, but they know the places that I used to fish, and they know the people and they know the boats, and so it's something special. So here I do have people that have common experience, and some of it's not always good, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. It must have been wonderful to bump into this person
Yeah,
after
it was
30
very
years.
cool. Well, it's great just because I get to tell the story to people. So
Well, is there a performance you're looking forward to tonight?
just my performance.
Oh, of course. Is that at the Voodoo Room again?
No, I can't remember where it is. I think it's at the Fort George Brewery, but I think, anyway.
Okay. Well, you did poetry, right?
No, I sang songs.
Oh, okay. Were you with the guitar?
Yeah, you don't remember any of the songs. You don't remember I spent the best years of my life working on a boat named after somebody else's ex-wife.
No, I would have remembered that one. The beautiful song and the story was very nice too. So, well, maybe we'll see you tonight.
Okay.
Thanks.